people is the constant race baiting, and Oprah is really stepping into this. The good thing is it don't appear that be quiet, Merlin. Let me finish. The truth is it don't appear that she's as effective as she used to be.
Thank
Now
God.
that's a good thing. So what we're all doing and combined, and just us and other people and you all and everybody speaking out against this stuff, we are breaking barriers, which is proof again that God is showing up to show out, and He putting a stop to this madness. And I don't want to drift the conversation, but I do eventually want to tie this in how this Roe v. Wade thing is going. Just
Hmm.
look at God now. Watch how He moving. So pay attention. So the color of care and Marlon, what is her intent? What's going on with this documentary?
Well, hello. Yeah, good to see you too. Um, I can tell people I'm doing better than the ratings for this show. So I agree that people are waking up because I look, it aired on a channel that had almost 4 million subs, and this thing only managed to pull in 21,000 views
Good, good.
and 600 and something likes. So I'm gonna think that it got ratioed pretty badly. So that's a good thing. Um, the premise of the show was to tell people that this is their premise, okay? We don't push this. So their premise is that black folk, especially in the areas they talked about, have a worse experience with medical facilities to the point where they are left to die, and it's intentionally because they are black. Has nothing to do with anything else. It's because they are black. Now, if you saw the commercial, I said that this year they're trying a new tactic. Um, they have, and Corey and I both said this. They try and keep people in the emotions, right? So if rage didn't work the first time, and now they're going after sympathy. And this movie has every facet and type of crying you can think of.
It's bad.
If it's an ugly cry, a hidden cry, cry no talking, talking while you cry. I mean, anything kind of crying they can come up with. They
Well, I'm gonna say this about the crying part, and I want to make this clear in the very beginning. Um, Hell, I mean, it was so sad. They almost had me crying. It's like,
Mhm.
man, just all that sadness and all that pitifulness. Now, listen, and this is no disrespect to the families that were affected by this all over the world, black, white, everybody. Okay, everybody was affected by this, and it's and people are still affected by this right now. And I understand the seriousness of that with the families that lost their loved ones. And I mean, I watched, and when I said almost had me crying, I literally mean that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not being sarcastic. I'm not being funny. Um, Thank you, Abby. Appreciate that. But one of the guys was talking, and he was talking about his dad, and I really sensed that he was sincere and how he felt and how he viewed this thing happening and all of that. But although I understand and he got a right to mourn, he got a right to tell his story. And although I understand all that, I understand why he was being used. He was being used to promote hate. He they took his mourning and his sadness and his grief and they put it on the camera and turned it into hate. And that disturbed me. It disturbed me to the point to where I just kept looking. I was like, I kept falling asleep on it, and it's like listening to it kind of in my sleep. And I'm like, this is disgusting. It's disgusting to know that you willing to highlight all this stuff about what blacks are going through as if white people ain't going through the same thing.
apparently
It's
not.
bad. So we understand the seriousness of it. We get that. We understand that it's real. We're not saying that, but we're saying it's the intent is what really blew the cover for everything that they got going on with that.
Precisely, precisely. And the crazier part is that there are other things that could have been addressed in a little documentary like this, especially in the area that they focused on, which was Detroit, Michigan.
Yeah.
Um, which is what we're going to try and show people some things here. In Detroit, Michigan, there are so many other things that you can point a finger at that have, one, a solution, and two, a definite provable cause. And not just a definite provable cause, but definite provable culprits. See, the problem with her saying that healthcare is a problem in Detroit is that it's run by the people that they say can't be racist.
The
Uh,
blacks, they black.
black people.
Yeah, he black,
So
she
I
black,
don't
he
know.
black.
Yeah, I don't know how this gonna be something that black people get. Then blame black people because apparently the CEO of one of the biggest hospitals there, Henry Ford, is a black dude, and he's been that way since birth, but as his job title since 2013. He's been in it for a while. So if
Yes.
something was supposed to change, he'd be the one to take it to. No, you make a video and you try to tell people, look at this. It's because of color. We know it. Can you prove it? We just know. And if it is provable, why haven't you sued anybody?
Or why haven't any of the black doctors stood up and spoke out against this stuff? So at the end of it all, you got to understand something, that even if it was true what all she's saying, and it's a black doctor that's running a hospital, how come he has not stood up? So let's
Hmm.
stop blaming this stuff on white people when you got the black man in charge, the oppressed black man, because we're not supposed to be in charge of nothing because we all are oppressed. So I don't know how he became a doctor, and I don't know how he became the head of a
he,
whole hospital when he's oppressed,
he had
and
been telling
then
white.
allowing his fellow black people in the city, which is what 80 77 80% black Detroit is, and they just letting this stuff happen. So these are black Democrats letting this stuff happen to black Democrats. So stop with the blame and everything on white people. We got to stop that. Because the more we blame, the more we won't fix ourselves. Because in order to fix a problem, you got to first admit that it exists.
Uh-huh. Mhm.
And if we're not addressing the real problem, we can't fix nothing. And this is ultimately why we've been stuck in this rut for so many years,
A
because
long
we
time.
refuse to address the real issues here. And then we
So
got Oprah pushing this mess.
if- and she got some weight to push behind it. No pun intended. Um, she
Stop it. Be good. Be nice, Marlon. Be nice.
I'm talking about political weight.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
you
Okay.
know,
I took
yeah,
it the wrong way. Yeah.
yeah. That's your mind. See,
Yeah.
I'm being nice.
Because I got a little weight to push around. So I kind of,
Yeah, that's
I felt,
different.
felt a little
Yeah.
funny about that.
The the flip side to this is when you look at the disparity between um, the city of Detroit, the leadership of Detroit, and the people that are in charge of medical care over there. 90% of the people that are involved in it are the same color that they're having problems. Okay, so the black people say they're having issues, and the people that would show up on an EMT visit would be black people. You go to the hospital, more than likely a nurse that would be taking care of you would be a black nurse. The head honchos of the hospital are the only ones that would be one or two of them that are white. So I don't get how the first thing you could go to is whiteness and blackness when literally the thing that they said. Now, mind you, this whole video was surrounded COVID. It was all about COVID. They all died from this, and people are allowed to die, and we are dying at a higher rate because of poor care, and the poor care is because we're black. Meanwhile, the truth of the matter is that it's been documented that core morbidities are the problem before COVID hits that cause them to die of COVID. So if you are going into this pandemic unhealthy, and I mean really unhealthy, you have a less chance of surviving it because it's only going to make your problem worse. That has nothing to do with race at all. None. So I want to be sure people to be sure about something. When you have someone like this telling you that they're dying because they're black, okay, let's give you that. What's your side effects that brought all this on? What was your precursor? What was your pre-existing conditions? Because in the movie, what was it, like all but one, and even that one was fairly heavy, but all of them were severely overweight people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
how do you why would you bypass that, an obvious thing that you can fix? Now they don't present any solutions, right? We said.
none,
So if I
none.
know that overweight is a problem for COVID, I know this. Okay. Wouldn't it behoove you to work with people to get them healthier?
Absolutely.
But no, nothing's been pushed for that.
And we talking about a extremely influential and extremely influential billionaire that can see what the problems are. She know the problem is because she got the same problem. Oprah has been on the weight loss thing for years,
Esau.
and and understand. I'm not talking about her because I'm the same way. I lose, I gain, I lose, I gain, I lose, and I get a little too comfortable when I start eating like crazy and gain. So I know the struggle. I know it is real because I go through it. So when COVID came in and they start talking about all the things that makes it worse, and being overweight, I qualify. I'm there. Asthma, they got me again right there. At the time, high blood pressure had me right there in 3 different spots. So what did I do? Instead of saying, "Well, these white people got me messed up,"
Mm.
I started eating better and I went to the gym and I started walking more. You know what I'm saying? And I done slipped up and let it get some of the weight back on me. And as Marlon know, I've been getting exercise tips from him. I'm working it out. You know what I'm saying? So we have to begin to do things and fix our health instead of complaining and crying and blaming it on people, period. Not just white people, just people, period. Listen, I know why I'm overweight because I know what I'm doing. I know what I did and I know what I've been doing. So there's no surprise there. There's no way for me to act like it's anybody's fault. Thank you, Miss Carol.
Thank you.
It's nobody's fault but mine. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's making me do anything. So we got to be aware of that. Also, the Surgeon General, I think it's the Surgeon General Adams, he even admitted, by the way, a black guy, that one of the problems, well, here go a few of the problems that why COVID spread with through the black community more because one, we live in larger households, and because of the how the we poor. You know what I'm saying? Typically living in poor neighborhoods, and so more people are living in the same house. We have health issues, blood pressure, and overweight, all this different stuff. And you know why? Because we have a different type of diet, and that diet is called, let's not play this game, it's called soul food.
Ooh.
It's called soul food. All right. Now these are the things that are tearing us apart. And then when something like that happen and it affect us, then the first thing we say is white people and they racist and they prejudice. But we got to stop cooking the way we cook. And then you say, well, but we poor. All right, we poor. I got you. What about the food stamps?
Shh.
What about the food stamps? You go to the store and you buy what you want to buy with the food stamps instead of buying snacks and all that beef and pork and throwing it on the grill. I'm talking about me too, and throwing it on the grill, and then overweight. Talking about, man, look what they doing to us. You did that. That's what we do. It is.
I can't breathe. Of course you can't breathe.
I'll be back.
There's a reason why you can't breathe.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So just we just got to start getting our bodies and doing better things with our bodies. That's cool downtown.